Hi, my name is Dr. Rick Upchurch, and I am going to share with you briefly how to use Adobe Connect for screen sharing from the perspective of the instructor. Now, as you can see here in this particular setup, this is the model or the layout of the pods that we will use for a typical classroom distribution. I've logged in 3 times here. The first one is me as a host, and that picture is not showing because our host is typically going to be the classroom technician and they won't need their camera showing. The second time is this top picture here. On that particular uh, location, I'm logged in on an iPad actually, and that would be potentially an instructor who's logged in at their instructor desk, or this next one would, and then the other picture would be the distance campus, for instance. So there might be a camera focused at 3 other people at the distance location, or there might be only one individual at one place, and there might be 3 or 4 pictures up there. Well, anyway, in the center of the screen, you can see there is a share my screen. Now, typically what happens is the classroom technician will send the invitation not only to the distance participants, but to the instructor. Once the instructor logs in to Adobe Connect, what they need to do then is go to Share My Screen, click on Share My Screen, choose the first monitor, and hit Share. Now, what happens then is this becomes their operating environment. It works just like their desktop. They don't have to think about anything different. They can open their PowerPoint, they can do whatever they need to do and run that. And the beauty of this is that everybody at a distance location sees that. And you can see this mini control panel down here. And I'm going to lift it up here, although typically the instructor will leave it off to the side and out of the way. I'm going to lift it up here because this shows exactly what is being seen by the students. So on the other computers and where I'm logged in, I still have the same view that I had before with the pictures on the side and this in the middle and the other stuff on the right side. So what the students are able to see then is this middle place, and so the instructor can work just as effectively from this area without having to work with Adobe Connect at all. But knowing that any PowerPoint they show or anything they need to do is immediately seen by the students, so that they can then see exactly what this looks like and what it feels like for them from that perspective. And this makes it possible for them to teach without hassle. It makes it possible for the students to see everything that's going on, and for the Adobe Connect technician, the classroom technician, to also be able to immediately begin to keep track of the pictures and the microphones and everything all together. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity then for our instructors to be able to broadcast this to the various classes, or to call up a web page, for instance. Let me call up a web page. We get a new web page here and put it inside the framework. Let's see. There we go. So I want to call up a new web page, and I'm going to, there we go, we're at Google, and I'm going to search for undiscovered country. Well, there's a Star Trek thing. And so everything I'm doing here is being broadcast immediately back out to students. They're seeing the exact same pieces that the instructor is using here. And this makes it eminently useful as a teaching piece for our instructors. So from the classroom technician's perspective, they send the link to the instructor at the very first of class. The instructor immediately, once they get logged in, immediately goes to start sharing and shares their screen, and then works from that environment completely through the class until they shut down the computer at the end of the evening. and that leaves the classroom technician to be able to manage all the other parts and pieces with the distant students. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to share those either with your dean or send me an email, rupchurch@belhaven.edu, and I will be happy to work with you on any problems that are that. Once you're done sharing, it's a simple matter of opening that and hitting stop sharing. It takes you right back to this screen, and from there you can do, you could start, if you needed to at that point, start a whiteboard session and begin brainstorming and have students from the other locations type in their brainstorming as well. Stop sharing that and it goes back to this. If you have any questions, again, let me know. Thanks.